Good day everyone, it's Kyle here, back at you with another video. In this video, we'll be doing some technical analysis on Tfuel. I'll also do a follow-up on yesterday's analysis of Theta. Let's get into it. Starting off nice and easy here, looking at a 24-hour line chart on Coinbase. And we see earlier in the day, Theta Fuel made a little bit of a dumpy dump here and looks to be sticking in some kind of daily bottom around the 0.26 cent mark here and is slowly grinding its way back to the upside. We see that Tfuel is up 1% on the day, down 14% on the week, down 9% on the month, but still up a very whopping 17,913% on the year. We see the 24-hour volume at 46 million, so a little lackluster there. I'd like to see that increase as price action attempts to work its way back to the upside, and we see that the market cap is at 1.6 billion. And quickly stopping over at Coin Market Cap, we see that Tfuel is currently ranked at number 75 and is trading at 30 cents. And here we have Tfuel up on the daily chart in TradingView. And I do see that yesterday's candle made a swipe to the upside here, hitting this horizontal coming in at 0.34 cents. And I do see that the 10 simple moving average was in confluence with that, and ultimately price action did get stuffed back down. Closing below the 55, and now price action has made a swipe to the downside, but the bulls are fighting back valiantly, trying to get price action back above that 55, and even better would be back above the top side of that liquid zone at around 31.5 cents. When I toggle out to the weekly here, I remind myself that Tfuel got extremely extended on this wick right here, so it's not unusual to see a big correction such as the one we are seeing right now. It's also not uncommon to see a bounce come in at the 10 simple moving average on the weekly, and I would say that that bounce is well in progress right now. The weekly still has 5 days and 6 hours remaining, so it's going to be very interesting to watch how this weekly bounce plays out. Back onto the daily, some people might be looking at this as some kind of sloppy head and shoulders, but I remind myself that a pattern is simply not a pattern until it's confirmed as a pattern. However, if Tfuel does make any more stabs to the downside, I'm going to be watching very closely to this 89, which is coming in around the 25 cent mark. And below that, we have the 100 to pay attention to, and that's at 19 cents. And then ultimately would be the 200 EMA, which is way down at 15 cents. Not saying that that's going to happen, but if price action does push to the downside, those will be areas that I watch, as I don't like to get caught with my pants down, and I do like to have a plan if price action decides to take the southern route. Now, if price action get back above that 55, as well as the top side of this liquid zone here, then likely that'll initiate another test of this horizontal at the 0.347 cent mark. Getting daily candle body closures up above that level will likely take out the 10 and 21, and then things will be starting to look favorable for the bulls once again. Now, I think the two reasons why Tfuel has had this big correction is just simply because it was very overextended, but what's more is that Bitcoin took that dump and all that FUD surrounding it. You know, when Bitcoin dumps, it's just par for the course that it drags the alt sector with it, and I don't think Tfuel was any exception on that. So with that being said, all eyes are on Bitcoin right now, as Bitcoin is causing the bulls to literally hold their breath. Now, for me personally, I don't hate anything that's closing daily candle bodies above that 55 exponential, and when I look left on Bitcoin, you can see the 55 was front run here on this dip, was front run here on this dip as well. But back here, we did see Bitcoin correct, tagging that 55 not once but twice, and then the rest was history as it worked its way back to the upside. Personally, the way it looks to me is that the bulls are working really, really hard to stick another pivot point on the market here. If they're able to do that, I think Bitcoin will be looking just fine, and over time it would become probable that it works its way back up to the upside. However, if Bitcoin does close below that 55, then likely it's going to swipe down around this horizontal here at 51,244, and perhaps even the 89 exponential, which is just below it here at 50,515. So those will be areas that I pay attention to if it takes the southern route. Let's head back over to Tfuel. Check out the momentum oscillators. So here on the RSI is trying to find support at the edge of the bearish control zone, so I do like that. I'd like to see it tick back up and see what happens if it can come back into contact with the negatively sloped exponential here. Down below in the MACD, there are no signals present, but it is giving us a third bar of negative momentum, and the fast line is now crossing through the zero read of the y-axis. Down on the stochastics did get out of the bearish exhaustion zone, but also did get rejected at the edge of the bearish control zone, and they are signaling that pressure is still down. However, if price action gets back in above this liquid zone here, then ultimately it'll just be looking like more range bound consolidation, and likely range bound and up. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm looking for Tfuel to get above this purple box liquid zone here around 57 cents. If Tfuel manages to do that on daily candle body closures and then confirming it as future support, then I think Tfuel will be ready for another one of these big moves to the upside. You can see that daily candle body closure here on the good volume. Then you see the back test of the liquid zone on on this wick as well as this wick. Once that was confirmed as support, you see that price action just went ripping to the upside. So I'm looking for price action to rhyme with itself. Just because that happened in the past doesn't mean it has to happen in the future. We're not looking at a crystal ball, just a statistical advantage over the market. And that's if Tfuel behaves that way from a price action perspective, then I will be looking at that as a change of behavior, that it's resolving this overall range, and that likely upside is going to be the name of the game in price discovery. It's also notable to say that usually around these liquid zones are high probable areas that price action will reverse. And that's why it's important to see this daily candle body close above the top side of that liquid zone. If it does that, then I'm going to start to tip my hat to the bulls once again. But overall, no major damage done just yet. So we'll just have to keep our eyes on this and see what happens in the coming days here. Now to head back over to to Theta. Yesterday, I was talking about if a daily candle body closure happened below this horizontal here at $11.19, that it would become probable that it would make a swipe to the downside, testing the 55. And I do consider this a test of the 55. I remind myself that this is technical analysis. It's not a crystal ball. It is just a game of probabilities here, and it doesn't have to be perfect, as I view this as more of an art versus a science, but I do consider that the test of the 55 and a very bullish response to it as well, as the bulls were happy to front run that 55, and today's candle is looking like it wants to close back above this horizontal at $19.11, and I'd overall view that as a very good thing. I do see that the 21 got through the 30 here, and the 10 looks like it wants to attempt the same thing, so that could be signaling to us that there's still a little bit of sell pressure here, but overall, if Theta gets back in the zone and just ping pongs between these two areas, so between this horizontal here, $11.20, and the bottom side of this liquid zone at $13, I'd overall just view that as sideways consolidation as Theta builds up pressure. And being that this is in a daily uptrend, I mean, I'd be looking at that as potential bullish reaccumulation and getting that daily candle body closure above the top side of the zone at $15, confirming it as future support, similar to this right here, similar to this right here. And then I think Theta's going right back into price discovery, and I'll be watching price levels probably as high as $20 at that point in time, perhaps even higher. But I like to take things level by level, but that's likely what I'd be looking for if any daily candle bodies start to close up above this level here. But again, this has a lot to do with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's trying to push its way back to the upside. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when Bitcoin tags that 30. But if it can get back up above there and back above this liquid zone here, then I think the whole market is going to be game on again, and especially coins like Theta that have working products. A lot of good things going for Theta. So anyways, you guys, thanks so much for coming by and checking out this video. Hope you're all doing well out there. Looking forward to seeing the next video. And until I do, have yourselves a powerful day.